Patrick, and as a fun reminder, every Thursday at 1:30 Central, I go live and I answer all your questions. So if you have a question, you jump in with it. I have a few questions from other videos, and I'm going to pick them up right here. So actually, I'm going to come closer to you. There we go. So first and foremost, hello. Let's jump in to questions that I got this past week. I'm sorry that I did live last week, of course, but I was in Nashville, which was fabulous. But I didn't answer any questions from before, and I just have a few, so it's fine. I can pick them up today. But if you have one, jump in. So the first question is, I want to use soap flakes, but I have really hard water. It's from a well, so I don't have tap water. What should I do to avoid soap scum? If you don't use too much soap, you're going to be okay anyway. But what I'm going to tell you is never use more than a tablespoon of soap flakes. You might even use a little bit less, but add some washing soda to your order or to your laundry. So you can use washing soda or you can use baking soda. Either one will work. It depends on if you buy it at the grocery store or at the warehouse store. Whichever one is cheaper for you, it's totally fine. Add a fourth to a half of a cup, and you will be good to go. It'll soften your water and make everything great. I actually would recommend that regardless of what you end up deciding to do. I love this question because it's sort of fun. Add a potato in a wooden bowl and it rotted. First of all, there's nothing that smells worse than a rotting potato. That's disgusting. So I can't imagine. I bet you were gone for a few days, and when you came back, you recognized that right off. What I would do is I would fill the bowl with hot water, and I'd add a tablespoon of soap flakes. I'm sorry, I misspoke. I'd fill the bowl with hot water, and I'd add a tablespoon of oxygen bleach. And I'd let that soak. That'll probably lift it out. If the bowl is unfinished, you could probably even just sand it at that point. But that'll make it sterile, and it'll take out the odor. What is the best way to wash a wool blanket? You can do a couple of things. You can throw them in a mesh bag. You can buy mesh bags that are large, like on the internet. You can buy them in some stores. Just buy a large mesh bag, put your wool blanket in it, and wash it. I would use wool wash or soap flakes. I wouldn't use regular detergent because it'll keep its warmth. The other thing, obviously, you can hand wash it in the bathtub. That totally, totally, totally works. It's actually a great trick. I just washed a wool blanket the other day, and I just put it in a mesh bag and tossed it in the wash, and it was fine. You do need to hang it to dry. Do not put it in the dryer. I threw mine across the drying rack, and it worked great. What's the best case for sudsy ammonia in the washing machine? The best case is something really, really, really oily. Gasoline comes to mind. Jet fuel. A customer once asked about jet fuel, and sudsy ammonia was great for that. Sudsy ammonia is great for really, really, really intense oils. I would not use it all the time. I would not make it a regular oil stain remover. It's a little aggressive. And it's not the easiest thing to find, but when it works, and that would be the time. By the way, if you ever wash anything with any sort of fuel in it or anything that's flammable, do not put it in the dryer, even if you think you've gotten it out. It's not worth it. It's not worth finding out. This is the last question I have, so if you have a question, jump in and say hi. The last question I have is, I'm buying cleaning vinegar and I want to use it in the laundry. So the thing about cleaning vinegar, I don't know if you've seen it, but you can buy it at like hardware stores. It's super, super concentrated. The normal mix is 1 part vinegar to 6 parts water. That brings you back to that sort of 5 to 6% solution that you have in household vinegar. And remember, that's the solution that we're throwing in the laundry. So it is 1 part vinegar, 6 parts water, and that's going to give you that normal vinegar ratio, and then throw a half a cup in with that. The great thing about cleaning vinegar is it's obviously super concentrated, so you can buy 1 bottle and have it for a very long time. Just dilute it down to make your spray bottles and your cleaners and whatever. The downside is I find it's quite expensive. A gallon of vinegar is about $1.29 for me. and cleaning vinegar is about $20. So really, when I look at it, regular vinegar is less expensive, but cleaning vinegar, does have some validity. And if you don't have a lot of storage space, that would be a real advantage. So those are the questions that I have so far today. What questions do you have? Couple things going on in the store. Merchandise is coming in every day. We just got candy yesterday. That's sort of fun. Our Fraser fur assortment right now is beautiful. I actually asked the web designer to go ahead and turn it on. We weren't going to make it go live until October 1st, but the assortment's so nice and so many of you love Fraser fur. I asked her to go ahead and make it all go live so that you could see it. And lots of things coming, it's good. I'll be in Salt Lake City the first week of October at the home show. That's going to be fun too. And yeah, so that's what I know. What do you know? All right. Well, if we don't have any questions, totally fine. I will pick this up next week. If you're watching this, here's one. And it's from our friend Gail. Cleaned a little used cupboard, found a box of Biz. Oh my. A spray can A2R and a tube of spot remover made in St. Paul called Swiffy. I can save it from the laundry museum. Yeah, I think you should. Cupboard's not been used in a fair while, Gail. But that's kind of fun. What a fun find. So, all right. If you're watching this later and you want to pick and you want a question answered for next week, pop it in the questions below. I will pick it up next week. I hope everybody has the best week and the best weekend. In Minnesota, it's turning cool. So I am definitely in the mood to, got another one. My whitetails have a slight tinge. Before I was introduced, I was using little detergent, but now I use soap flakes, washing soda, and oxygen bleach. This is enough. Is this enough? Yes, it is. If they have a tinge, you might even cut your soap flakes back a little further. Never be afraid to cut them back, Lisa. If you need to use a little less, you go right ahead. Just cut your soap flakes back a little further. I don't usually ever change. I got to get up over that. I don't usually ever change my oxygen bleach or my washing soda, but I will cut the soap flakes back. So yeah. All right. So if you have a question, you're watching this later, I've said it a couple of times, but that's fine. I'll pick it up next week, and I hope you have a great weekend. It's getting cool. So I was just thinking about, it's flannel sheet time. I don't think it's quite yet, but I think it's coming. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. And Lisa, it will take 3 or 4 washes. So everybody have a great weekend. Thanks. Bye.